Hello, for more welcome to Invest. We're talking about investing, finance, and professional development for today's items only. The investment we're going to talk today would be Ethereum ETH. First, I want to say happy Thursday, everybody. We're a great week so far. We're almost through the weekend. Respective recording time of 9:19 a.m. on the Eastern Time. Ethereum contracting $3,745, about 2.75% so far. Respect to the nearest macro catalyst, the CPI report, seems like the consumer prices has risen more than expected as energy costs surge. And a high-level synopsis on the key metrics that we have, to mention is the consumer price rose over 0.4% in September, pushing the year-over-year gain to 5.4%. And if you exclude the food and energy, the gains was just 0.2% and 4% respectively. With respect to energy and food prices climb, while used cars prices, which had been a central part of the story with respect to the inflationary picture for this year, has declined. So with that affectation, subsequently, on the equity side, it drove some selling pressure, slightly. With the initial futures that was, rising a little bit, but subsequently because of the fact that this news broke out, the safe haven type of investment opportunities, including like crypto, gold, and silver, while at the same time, with respect to US dollar, kind of depreciates a little bit, while at the same time drive the anti-correlation effect to drive the crypto market to go up from there. So it's the reason why we are seeing some of the cryptocurrencies to be going up right now. Okay, so with respect to Ethereum, right now, there are a lot of positive news that has been percolating this morning. I would say, the last, 3 hours so far, and it's only 9 a.m. on the Eastern Time right now. There are a lot of news that are positive, and these are relatively substantive news coming from influential members in our society, right? So the first one's on Market Watch 51 minutes ago, talk about the Russian president, Putin, obviously, says that crypto has value, right? So Vladimir Putin, I think this is one of the first times that he has actually publicly speak upon, about crypto assets or the safe haven value effect or the appreciation value proposition that crypto assets has going forward. So in the recent conference, one of the reporter asked him, and that was his depiction. But is it anything substantive? I don't know. To be honest with you, I don't think he's a subject matter expert in this specific space. But something good to know. It seems like a relatively powerful figure in the world, from Russia, obviously. Is putting crypto as a stamp of approval, that he sees the evolutions of this going forward to be implemented in our global economy going forward. The next one is on Cointelegraph, talk about Aurora. Raises $12 million in debut funding to scale Ethereum ecosystem. So Aurora is an Ethereum virtual machine, or you call that an EVM. It's designed to basically scale the architecture or the infrastructure with whatever platform they're using based on Ethereum. And it seems like they have raised $12 million, coming from various different corporate investors, also including in the venture capital industry as well. So it's something interesting that there are some adaptation and investments appetites that going towards these respective platforms. And the next one is on CNBC 3 hours ago, talk about crypto could cause a 2008 level meltdown, the Bank of England officials warn. So this is basically talking about with respect to the technicals. So we know that currently across multiple different coins, we are leaning more to an overbought level, right? Respectively, I know that Cardano and Solana are trading at a relatively different momentum, but with respect to the stable coins, we're definitely leaning more towards the overbought level. Like just look at the Ethereum right now with 65 out of 70. At the same time, we are dragging up exponentially higher, forming an outlier as well on the MACD. So definitely a meltdown would be possible, but I don't know how foreseeable that is at the moment because of the fact that we're still curving up. And I think we are still trying to, or attempting to hit the 3,843, which is the next technical resistance level, to try to get above 4,000, right? But it seems like we're still struggling. So we are, again, levitating. And then the next one is talk about Fortune magazine. Investors push global stocks and crypto higher even as inflation spikes. So with respect to this is basically tying back to the CPI report that we've heard earlier today. So seems like, obviously with the mixture of all of the macro factors we've identified so far, there's also some sector rotation that's going on to the high growth and the blue chip tech stocks, which we have seen, so far, which explains a lot of the tech stocks are, surging, relatively higher recently. And at the same time, with respect to crypto, why is it going higher? Because of the safe haven effects that the US dollar is not, appreciating. It doesn't worth as much anymore. So people are fleeing to assets that are more obviously attractive in terms of profitability perspective. So that's why you see the correlation effect onto the equity and the crypto side of the world. And the next one's on CNBC, another one 5 hours ago, talk about Russians. Putin says crypto has value but may not be for trading oil. So they're basically mixing things differently together to try to stir some media affectation. Another, reminder that, Putin, puts some stamp of approval on crypto. But again, non-substantive, I would say is more trivial just because a reporter asked him about it and he's like, oh yeah, there's some value. What is he supposed to say? He's supposed to say like, no, I don't think there's any value. Like, as politicians, they can never be that binary in terms of like how they publicly speak, right? So I think anything in general has some value, right? But in terms of like what is the tactical or objectives for crypto, how that's going to be implemented to the Russian economy, or subsequently the globalization as well, that's something that's still pending, right? So good to know that he said positively about crypto assets as a whole, but is it anything substantive? As you read through it, you realize that it's just he just mentioned it, comparable to like Ray Dalio saying that Bitcoin has value, but does he really know enough, or is he subject matter expert in the crypto asset space? I would say that's something that we have to further look into. So. And then the next one is Cointelegraph, talk about billionaires are backing Bitcoin over gold, but some may say Ethereum is even better. So basically this is talking about a recent comment that Jamie Dimon has mentioned. And this is contradicting a message again from the media front. Like Cointelegraph, I could have sworn that they said that Jamie Dimon said that Bitcoin is worthless or crypto assets is worthless. Now they're saying that with his recent research report coming from the economist from JP Morgan asset management arm, saying that Ethereum has some value. And we know that JP Morgan currently holds the Bitcoin Trust and the Ethereum Trust, to be sold to the institutional clients. So this is, again, contradicting messages. So again, read it with a grain of salt. You don't really want to believe everything that they say, right? And the next one is talking about another regurgitation news, talk about Mark Cuban. Another Mark Cuban news, I guess. Like he's saying something about Bitcoin has real value and Ethereum can be a great hedge as well. And this is something we've heard from, I believe, Fox News or Fox Business about like a week and a half ago, when he, he was on live TV, and one of the reporter asked him about like what's his belief on Bitcoin with the recent rally, and he said, yeah, Bitcoin is a good hedge. Has long-term value proposition, and he also mentioned Dogecoin and Ethereum. He said Dogecoin is more of a joke for some reason, but like the joke can actually turn out to be something that's substantive over time with the right team members that's being tied to the Dogecoin Foundation, and as it institutionalized, it can be a real commodity going forward. And he also talked about Ethereum as a good hedge, and he sees the potential for Ethereum to surge even higher going forward. So not sure what that really means. Ultimately, he has his own personal incentive, right? He is a shark, by name, and I guess we read it with a grain of salt, right? So that's pretty much on the news. With respect to the technical front, we are leaping up right now. We are overbought on all levels. We are surging up, right? It seems like the wellback is curved up right now because of the positive that we just heard earlier this morning, and the CPI report that we have, basically gave us that safe haven effect at the same time. So we're surging up and try to get to the next level. I'll just hold and wait. I wouldn't really do much right now. Just sit on the sideline. You're definitely not missing out trust me, because of the fact that we are overbought. So it's just a matter of time when we, hear what the Bank of England said, the meltdown going forward. So, but ultimately, I'll just hold until Ethereum hit 25,000. So I'm not in a rush of like selling or try to like dollar cost average at the current level, or try to take profit at the moment either, because I see a much higher potential going forward. For Bitcoin right now, we are struggling, and you can see the wellback is still curving down, and we are extremely overbought at 73 out of 70. So again, right, the better level would be at minimum at the 46, at the minimum at the 43. But ideally for me, I think the 40 and the 37, 34 would be a better level for me. Dogecoin again, with respect to the 21 cents and the 20 and 19 level are the better level to buy, and we are forming a slow curvature already. So as we form the death cross, I think we should sell back down to ideally the 21 cents at least at bare minimum. Cardano, we are having a lag effect. We just formed a cross recently at the 48 out of 70. So ideally for me to buy at bare minimum will be anywhere from like the 205 and then 187, $145 level respectively. Solana is seems like it's still struggling to find which way it's going, and it seems like we just formed a death cross recently, which is the reason why we had the escalator downward. We are trying to curve back up right now, try to recuperate, but ideally, because of the fact that we're still in the neutral zone, I think ideally coming back down to the at least bare minimum of 125 to like 120. Would be better level for me. I think 110 would be a better level for me to buy at as we deplete even more. This is definitely a struggle that we are experiencing coming out specifically from public investors, not by the whales. So definitely be cautious. For me, I don't have any Solana yet, so I'll just wait until we get to a better level. As we get complete depletion, then I will probably buy in. XRP, we are forming a curvature right now. We are still overbought the 60 out of 70, so ideally 101, 93, 88 would be the better level to buy at. Polkadot is still surging, and you could see how extremely overbought we are and how dragged up we are right now. And with this like foreshadow of, I think this was probably a well manipulation. Someone sold a lot, and they were allowed to buy a relatively big chunk at basically the $18 level, and they made it crazy gains right now. So this is definitely fishy activity. So I think there are some whales that's in place that that transacted really suspiciously. So definitely be cautious. Again, not the most optimal level to buy with 68 out of 70. So basically 70 out of 70 right now. So very overbought. Algorand, we are basically curve up because of the drag effect coming out from the altcoin. We are at the 56 out of 70. So right now, this is not a best setup right now. We're up 8%. So ideally, again, right, to buy at somewhere around like the 160, 150 level respectively would be better level. Again, with respect to the market cycle, it's not going to look that obvious, right? We're going to see some like surge and then some slide down. But if you look at that on a more of a high level spectrum, you see that we have been escalating downward on a weekly basis, and we are forming like lower lows on respective coins as well. So what would be the better level dollar cost average? These are the levels that you want to ideally risk mitigate for yourself, right? Because the risk is high, you definitely don't want to chase in. You want to buy it when it's on a discount, not a premium, right? So hopefully this is helpful. Hope you guys have a great rest of the Thursday. Let me know if you have any questions again, and feel free to ask me any questions and give me a shout, and stay tuned for us to come up. Take care. Bye.